beginning of time, all things in the universe have happened in cycles. The entire star system rotates in a circular pattern. At predictable times, individual stars complete the cycle and return to a place in the sky that they had occupied a long time before. Planets circle the stars and moons go around the planets in cycle after cycle. And on the face of the earth, the law of cycles applies to every living thing. The civilization of man has also gone through remarkable cycles of change. Recent evidence shows that man has been on Earth for millions of years, but all science has been able to establish about our past is that some of our ancestors lived in caves. The rich history that lies buried in the earth is slowly being discovered. Until now, there has been a 35,000-year gap in our knowledge of the past. We had knowledge of the cavemen and knowledge of life in biblical times, but the middle period remained a mystery. This missing link has now been discovered. From the caves, there evolved a race of men of superior mentality. During the thousands of years that the rest of the world remained primitive, the people of the continent of Atlantis developed an organized society similar to our own. Science and technology were developed to a perfection far in advance of anything the civilized world had known. The men of science on Atlantis in some ways surpassed us in their discoveries, for they had harnessed the destructive rays of the sun. Human nature on Atlantis was much as it is today. The political leaders reached for more and more power and had great pyramids built in their honor. It was this desire for power that split the loyalty of the people between two leaders, and Atlantis became two nations, east and west. And then there was war. It is not yet known which side was first to develop the superweapon, but the area near the Sargasso Sea was caused to disappear in an instant. This produced a volcanic upheaval and separated the land into 5 smaller islands. Knowing that their continent was doomed, the survivors from the east of Atlantis made their way to Egypt. Through intermingling and intermarriage with the Egyptians, the Atlantans changed that country's civilization from primitive to a complex social structure. The immigrants from Atlantis were destined to become the ruling class and pharaohs of Egypt. They educated the Egyptians in the ways of Atlantis, but kept many of the scientific advances a deep secret. Keeping with the tradition of their ancestors, the Atlanteans ordered the building of the great pyramids of Egypt in their honor. People from the west of Atlantis escaped to the American mainland, forming the Indian societies in South America. Although they didn't share the knowledge of the sun weapon with the natives, they taught the natives to respect the sun, and the Mayan temples were built. Astronomy and science were highly developed, and poverty became non-existent under a system of communistic villages which cultivated common land. And in the Atlantic, many years later, the forgotten remains of a once great continent disappeared beneath the water. Cycles of change on Earth are geological fact. By probing beneath the upper formation of any point on our planet, the vast changes become evident. The discovery of oil beneath the Sahara Desert indicates that the area was once very fertile. Coal, which is the remains of temperate climate plants, has been found in Antarctica. In the mile-deep Grand Canyon, surface changes are clearly visible. The area has gone through vast changes of climate and volcanic activity. Because of hotter and colder spots within the Earth, the crust is under tension at some places and compression at others. The location of the hotter and colder spots changes at times, causing disturbances on the surface of the Earth. 600 million years ago, the landmass of North America was above water except for a separation in the east and one in the west. Then the land began to submerge from south to north. After most of the continent was beneath the seas, it emerged again, and the early Appalachian mountain chain was formed. Much of the continent then submerged right up to the Arctic, after which the submerged area became the Rocky Mountain Range. But change has not ended. The slippage of the Earth's crust around the core is touching off major disturbances. Pressure and strain has been building up for 60 years since the last great California earthquake. But not just California, the entire world will see major changes before the end of this century.